You told her father, you need to straighten your daughter out for the next man, not for me, because I'm done. We're over. I love it. I love it. That's what she gets. That's what she gets. Another one bites the dust.
I canceled wedding. I didn't sign up for an open marriage. My fiancée had the nerve to ask me for an open marriage. What the hell was she thinking? She's never even hinted at anything like this. Our lives were supposed to be great. I thought she was joking. I gave her a couple days to tell me she was joking, because guys, I would have never thought this girl would ask me something like this. After a couple days of her saying this to me, I canceled everything. I walked away. I even had to confirm it with her friends. They told me that she's been talking about it for a while, and she was asking them how to bring it up to me. I've gotten really close with her friends so they would tell me the truth. Of course, they were friends with her first, and they would not lie to me. But when it comes to this, she's been looking for advice from them on how to ask me. Her own parents even knew. One of the friends told me so. Everybody just kept it from me. That's why I'm not mad that I canceled everything. Her father is pissed off, though. He funded it all. He just wrote the checks out, but everything was technically under my name. Still, I shut everything down. Everything. I don't know if he got all of his money back. Frankly, I don't care. This man knew that his daughter wanted an open marriage with me, so screw him too. I guess it wouldn't hurt to give a little backstory. So, my ex-fiancée, Victoria, and me, Sam. Real names, I don't care. I'm at Victoria's church. Our churches resided in the same area for quite some time. They are both in the middle of a neighborhood, but it's two different churches. Both of our churches arranged a meeting. We were to go over to their church as visiting church, and they were going to come to our church later. Neither of us live in this neighborhood, but we both do have family and friends in the neighborhood. Most of my family attend the church that I go to, and most of her family attends that other church that she goes to. Anyway, the first time we visited the church, there was a cookout afterwards, so we got to know everybody. Everyone was speaking to each other, and that's when I met Victoria. She caught my eye the first time. I walked in the service after talking to her. I thought she was just the sweetest woman in the world. I've never met anyone as sweet as her. The way she talks, how she carried herself, the way she knew the Bible, I loved it. I fell in love with who I thought she was because there's no way that same Victoria I met. It's not who she truly was if she's asking for an open marriage. She knows that's wrong. As far as I know, no one in her family has that type of an arrangement. I don't know why she would ask for something like this. Anyway, Victoria showed me such an amazing time from day one. She was very respectful. For instance, when we went out to dinner, this was our first date. She ordered a little too much, and I saw that she tried really hard to get it all down. I told her it was okay, but she said, I'm not going to waste your food. You bought this for me. I'm not going to waste this. I said, oh my gosh, you're so sweet. But hey, let's just get a doggy back. She says, okay, but by the time I asked her that, she already put down most of it. So honestly, most people would just let the server take the plate and throw away the few fries and the quarter of a burger that's left. Vic refused. She said she was going to take it home. She'll eat it for lunch the next day. She was going to skip breakfast the next day because she was so full of dinner. She felt really bad. That's when we started talking about gluttony. She felt so bad that she just did that, but she was trying to make sure she didn't waste my food. And she's not the biggest fan of leftovers. Before we went to our cars, we walked to the Dollar Tree next to us and went and got a container. And I told her to just keep the food in the container. As long as it's sealed, put it in refrigerator, you'll be fine. She's worried about getting sick. She's gotten sick a couple times eating leftovers. But just that little move, her not wanting to waste food that I paid for, meant so much to me. Not even 3 days after us meeting each other, she brings me lunch to my job. Our jobs were very close to each other, And she remembered that I said that I kind of don't have time to cook as much as I want to, and if I don't meal prep on the weekend, I'm kind of screwed for the week. Victoria cooked me meals every single day. She apologized for missing the first 2 days in the week because she had to prep and get ready, but she cooked me meals and said if I didn't mind leftovers, then I can just store them. And she went and got some good containers from the store and sealed everything correctly. I thought, wow, this woman is amazing. We are two 25-year-olds. I'm thinking we're both on the right path. We both wanted the same things in life, I thought. She doesn't drink. She doesn't smoke. She doesn't go out. I bet you're thinking, what would make her ask for an open marriage? Well, I'll get to that. Let's just say influence and peer pressure is a son of a bee. Excuse my language. Anyway, we hit it off very well. She initially, from the beginning, showed that she was wifey material. She was everything I was looking for. I guess I can say she played her cards right. She got me to propose to her 1.5 years after our first date. I proposed to Victoria in front of both of our families in church. There was another visit. It was wonderful. Everybody was happy. Everyone knew we were going to get married. People would always tell us how pretty our babies were going to be. We had some women in the church asking if they can name our first child. Victoria and I got that close. We were joined at the hip. We were always together, and guys, the entire time we were dating. She never dropped the ball. She literally cooked for me all the time. Of course, some days here and there she would not, but it didn't matter. She could have taken off the whole year and I would have appreciated what she did. But this is something she enjoyed doing. She told me to my face. She wants to cater to me. I'll never forget one time. We were at her parents' house in the basement. Victoria turned on the song by Destiny's Child Cater to You. She was lip syncing it to me. We did not hear her mom coming downstairs. Victoria, she ran to turn the music off and was so afraid. Her mom just smiled and said, "Hey, I like that song. Don't tell your father I listened to that." Apparently things like hip hop, rap, R&B didn't get played in their family home. They were more Frank Sinatra fans. You know, the old stuff, but Victoria and her sister, they were allowed to listen to like Katy Perry and Britney Spears, Fergie, Pink artists like that. You know, Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. 98 Degrees. But I remember her being so afraid. But Victoria's mom didn't care. So anyway, Victoria, man, I thought it was great. So that's why I proposed to her. I thought she was going to be my wife forever. We never even made it to that part. We didn't even go down and sign any paperwork. A month before I proposed to Victoria, she switched jobs. She started working with the company that was near our church. It was a real estate developer company. She did office work there, along with 4 other girls that did the office work also. They took phone calls and pushed paperwork. Basically, there were a bunch of contractors and real estate guys that worked there. They were in and out of the office, but the girls stayed there all day. Victoria would tell me about these girls. Whenever we were together or on the phone, by the way, we both lived with our parents, and the plan was to move into Victoria's father's rental home. That was going to be our home. It was an exciting thing. Nice small home. Nothing too major, just a ranch-style home, 3 bedrooms. But that was the plan. We both had a car. We didn't have nice cars, but we had cars. They got us to work. We didn't have any debt, so things were supposed to work out. I just feel as if a woman is in a good position. Damn near perfect position. She's going to find a way to ruin it. Nothing was wrong with our setup. She just decided that she wanted to nuke it. Just sitting here thinking about it bothers me. How can you be like this? It doesn't make any sense. So, we're getting everything together. We were going to get married at her church. The reception was going to be at my church, family and friends. It was going to be beautiful. This was supposed to be perfect, leading up to the moment she asked to open our marriage. She was still doing things like cooking for me, cleaning out my car. Heck, she'd even clip my toenails and clean out my toenails. She just loves doing stuff like that. giving me head massages, hand massages. By the way, guys, if you've never had a hand massage, you're missing out. Anyway, she does all these things for me, and I never suspected this question to come about. Anyway, she'll tell me all about her coworkers or new colleagues, and honestly, I wasn't too fond of them. She wanted us to hang out with them. Two of them had a boyfriend, and she wanted us to do this double date or triple date thing. And I wasn't really up for it after hearing some of the things they would say. So, my ex-fiancée would tell me when we were together, these girls, specifically the ones that were in relationships, talk about how jealous their boyfriends were and how they had to set them straight. I was questioning her, saying, "What you mean? Please explain this to me." She told me how the girls wanted to go out more, just for girls' nights out, and the guys that they were with didn't find that appropriate. They play games on their boyfriends to convince them to start giving in to their demands. For instance, let me give you guys an example. So, the girls told my fiance that they would start to pull away from their boyfriends once they complain about something or say something that they wanted to do, and the boyfriends disagreed and told them no. The girls started to pull away from them and became distant, and that would make the boys chase them more. These girls said this thing works like a charm, and that's how you get men to fall in line. I didn't want my fiance hanging around women that are trying to get men to fall in line. That's not how things go. My fiance told me that the girl said if your guy leaves you after you pulled away, then he's not the one for you. Find one that's going to chase. You don't ever chase a man. Now to my face, my ex-fiance would agree with me and say that what they were saying was crazy and manipulative, and it's not how it should be in a relationship, but deep down inside, she was agreeing with these girls. I figured if she wasn't playing a trick on me about the open marriage request, then she got the idea from one of the girls at work. By the time she asked me for the open marriage, we had gotten fitted for a tux. We already know who's going to be in the wedding. She was fitted for her dress, honeymoon booked, and scheduled by her father. We were slated to move into her father's rental home. It was cleared out. He went in and did some renovations in the kitchen. I remember he painted some walls. He did a lot of the stuff himself. He had the nerve to get upset with me saying he wasted so much time, but it's his daughter who caused this. I don't want an open marriage, and I don't want to be with someone who even considered it. That just means it's going to come up again. Why would I marry her? So anyway, she asked me for the open marriage. We just got back from TGI Fridays, and I was taking her home, and she tells me there's something that's been on her mind that she wanted to talk to me about. I said absolutely. For some reason, I thought she was going to ask about kids, and maybe waiting to have children, or maybe not have as many as I want. I want 5. She says, "I don't want you to judge me. I feel like I can tell you anything." I said, "Okay, what is it?" I started to get worried after she said that, and I wasn't thinking about the kid thing. She says, "Well, I've been thinking. I talked to some of my friends, and I just didn't know how to ask you this. And oh my gosh, I'm so afraid." I said, "Come on, Victoria, just tell me. You can tell me anything. I won't judge you. I promise. I will tell you guys I lied here because I completely judged her when she told me this. She said that she had been thinking about open marriage. If it's really meant for 2 people to just stay together forever and not be with anyone else. Even if they agreed upon bringing others into the relationship, I stopped her right there and said, "What are you talking about?" She says, "There are people out here that are married that actually have other partners. It's called an open marriage." I said, "So you're suggesting we have an open marriage?" She says, "Well, maybe it's good for the both of us. We're not that experienced, unless you've lied to me." I was talking to the girls at work, and they were telling me that you probably are lying about losing your virginity, and there's no way for me to tell. I told Victoria she's crazy. "Why are you letting those girls tell you about me? You know who I am. I told you I was a virgin, and I'm not lying about that. I've never done anything sexual with anyone. I was happy to learn that you hadn't either. Victoria tells me that she swears that she's a virgin and there's no reason that I shouldn't believe her, and I told her I believe her. Why are you acting so rash about this? I said I always believed you. Anyway, back to this open marriage situation. So, do any of the girls at your job have an open relationship? Victoria tells me that one does. The other one is considering it. I said, so you feel like you should have one as well. Victoria tells me to just forget that she said anything. I'm about to go inside. At this time, we were in her parents' driveway. I asked Victoria to hand me her hand. She hands me her hand with her ring on it. I rubbed on her hand and I said, Victoria, I truly, truly love you. I only saw myself with you and only you. I don't know if I could be with someone who wants to be with other people. That's not the arrangement I want. She tries to pull her hand away because she knows what I'm about to do. I grab her hand and I take the ring off of her finger. She screams so loud as if I hurt her or cut her, and I just sat there and stared at her. I said, so go ahead, scream. There's no reason for this. You're acting like a child. Victoria says, give me my ring back. Why would you take my ring off of my finger? I said, because we're not getting married. You're not my wife. I don't want you to go inside to your parents. We're done. Victoria screams, no, no, please, please. It was so loud. I told her to get out of my car and I'm going home. She just sat there, got quiet, looked at me, then slowly turned her head and put her head down, and I was starting to get a little scared. I didn't know what she was doing. She turned her head again to stare at me and turns back straight and looks down. It was the weirdest thing in the world. I was asking, are you okay? I'm speaking to her. She's not saying a word. She's just doing the same movements, almost like she was possessed. Victoria, get out of my car right now, when I raised my voice to say that. She then got out. I waited for her to go inside, then I pulled off. Not even out of the neighborhood yet. I'm getting a phone call. It's her father, I answer. He's screaming at me. What did you do to my little girl? I said, sir. I didn't do anything to your little girl. He asked, why is she crying? Where is her ring? You bring it right here, right now, damn it. I said, sir, this is my ring. I purchased it. Your daughter wanted to have an open marriage. That is not something I want. This man says to me, be an adult and have a conversation and just say that. Don't be an Indian giver. I told him to straighten his daughter out, not for me, but for the next man. No one wants a woman who wants to be in an open marriage. I told him to take care. The last word I heard him say was, you son of, before the phone hung up. Victoria called me before I even got home. She's crying on the phone. I say, Victoria, was this a joke? Just tell me you were joking. She just kept crying, and I thought, if this was a joke, this would be a mean joke. And for the next 2 days, I kept telling myself that she's just joking, and she's going to call me and tell me that she's joking. The night she called me when I left, I hung up on her because she just kept crying and couldn't get her words out. I talked to her friends who became my friends. They all confirmed that in the past month, Victoria has been talking about polygamy and wanting to ask me to open up our relationship once we are married. On that second day after Victoria asked me for the open marriage, when I spoke with her friends, I let her know after she called me that we were done and she should never call me again. In fact, I'm going to block her on everything. We're completely done. For those 2 days, I left her unblocked because I just wanted to hear her say, just kidding. I played a trick on you, but I never heard that. She meant what she was asking, and I left her where she was supposed to be with her parents. Her father kept threatening me. I blocked him on everything. He called my parents, and my parents sided with me. They didn't think it was appropriate that she wanted to open our marriage. Marriage isn't supposed to be open. He shouldn't be allowing his daughter to think that that's acceptable. He and my dad had a huge argument, and I believe some threats were exchanged, according to my mom. But they sided with me, luckily. I've heard horror stories. Anyway, Hopefully, my email can be read on your YouTube channel. True story. Take care, sir.
You told her father, you need to straighten your daughter out for the next man, not for me, because I'm done. We're over. I love it. I love it. That's what she gets. That's what she gets. Another one bites the dust. I'm not mad at you, man. You did the right thing. Really, you did. It seemed like for 2 days you were a little confused. Man, is she joking? I wonder though, if she would have just said, okay, I'm just kidding, and lied to you, would you have taken her back? I hope not. Her friends even told you she was wanting this open relationship, right? Look, man, you live and you learn. I'm glad you didn't marry her. Her dad being upset, he's just mad that he spent money. He needs to be going off on his daughter. His daughter wasted his time. His daughter wasted his money. But he doesn't want to yell at his sweet little daughter. Let's blame it on her boyfriend. Let's blame it on him. It's his fault. He should have been a man. And hold on, did you say the parents knew? So the friends told you that the parents knew as well? Man, this dude, what? Why didn't you straighten your daughter out, sir, when you found out that she wanted an open marriage? You're okay with that? What kind of arrangement your wife has you in? Guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments. If you want to send in a story, send it to truestorynation@gmail.com. Here, I'll put it on the screen. That's truestorynation@gmail.com. I'm going to catch you guys at the next one.